Senator, in addition to that article I read, where you're talking about the Marxist Democrat ideas to destroy America, you also wrote a more hopeful piece. I saw it in Town Hall. It says, first Virginia, next Biden's tax mandate. Why and how are you linking those two issues?
Well, Virginia shows that we can make a difference if we stand together, if we work hard, if we get a fairer vote count, which I think we got this time in Virginia. But there are a lot of things in these spending bills that the Democrats are trying to push through Congress right now that could fundamentally change our country, and that's what they want to do. A lot of the money that they're pushing in the Green New Deal stuff are just the kind of socialist spending, creating more dependency, more corporate welfare in effect, more cronyism, and pushing a lot of the social agenda that moves people into dependency. And that's one of the biggest problems in America now is we need to do everything we can to keep people from being dependent. That doesn't mean we don't have safety nets, but we don't create hammocks and snares, and so once people get in a program, they can't get out of it. So I'm hopeful about America just because I feel like that people are waking up. That's what we saw in Virginia, and this was parents. A lot of it was faith motivated because they were Christian people who saw what their children were being taught in schools, and then the politicians were saying you have no business being involved with your school. And when you start making moms mad, that's a pretty powerful force, and we just need to engage that all over the country.
And we're seeing that with the vaccine mandates as well, that people are standing up and saying, hey, look, I'm not anti-vaccine, but I am pro-choice, at least in this respect.
Yeah, and I mean, but the data, they keep talking about science, the data shows that children are more at risk from the flu than they are COVID, and we haven't been forcing children to wear masks and get shots and everything for the flu for years, even though it can be deadly for children. So they're not telling us the truth. They're obviously purposely exaggerating the threat for a lot of groups of people, and it's to manipulate us, and that's what worries me.
Yeah. Well, the good news is you with the Conservative Partnership Institute are bringing some of the best and the brightest conservative minds together, and I love that. And you know, I've long said the left hates each other.
Yeah.
But they work very well together. On our side, we love each other, but we don't work so well together.
Well, you're right, and one of the purposes of CPI is just the recognition that there's not a hub in the movement that's making it all work better together. And so the Conservative Partnership is there to support members of Congress, their staff, help them get great staff, train their staff so they know how the place works, but also get a lot of the conservative groups working together to support the good people on the inside, but also to get the message to the American people more consistent and positive. And so what we try to do, excuse me, Kevin, is to make other groups more effective and try to keep our heads below the radar and not take any credit, but to make the whole movement better.
Well, I looked at your website, and there's a tremendous video. I'd like to show it for our audience.
Let's be clear. Washington, D.C. is not like any other city in America. Here, 250 years of political horse trading, partisan power shifts, and backdoor politicking have resulted in gridlock that is crushing the American people. Conservatives come here from across the country, and they're hit by a system filled with career politicians and unelected bureaucrats fighting to hold them back. D.C. may be stuck, but this is a conservative partnership, and we're about an American movement.
We've trained conservative outsiders from day one, and let me tell you, the swamp doesn't like it when you fight back.
There is a real anti-American movement here, and they are determined to pit us against each other.
Which is why, when you take a stand here, you have to know someone has your back.
For years, I've worked on the Hill shaping conservative policy.
I've seen the courage it takes to step up and move out, to not just get in line and go along.
Conservatives all across this nation are tired of feeling our nation slip into darkness.
Because this isn't a game.
Families are bearing a burden that they didn't ask for.
We're at risk of it getting far worse.
We're talking about standing up for the fundamental truths upon which this nation was founded.
Now, more than ever, conservatives need to lead the way. CPI is here to make sure they can.
CPI provides a home for conservatives, and that is sorely needed. CPI is exactly what the conservative movement has long been missing.
They support me when the pressure is on.
CPI is getting us informed on the issues of the day and making sure we have the ammunition to fight back.
They give us a place to share the truth.
This really is a place that feels like home.
They are committed to one America for all Americans.
CPI provides the resources we need to help us win.
Here at CPI, our mission is to fight back against those who want to divide our country and erase the principles and values that have made America the greatest nation in history. We're taking action by providing resources, facilities, and staff that conservatives have never had before. The need has never been greater. The time to get in this fight is now. What we're building is much more than just a home for conservatism in D.C. We're building a movement for what is right all across the country. A movement for conservatives already in the fight. A movement for America.